Good evening. Good evening, all of you. Today we are discussing about our new topic in international marketing, that is international marketing research. And that is we are going to cover understanding the international consumers, international marketing intelligence, and ethics in international marketing. So this is fourth block, which is about international marketing research. Yes. Uh, Generally, if you look into the role and importance of the international marketing research, this marketing, see, many of the firms today, we are finding not only they are offering their products or services not only to the domestic markets, but also in the international consumers, right? Beyond the boundaries they are serving, right? So, marketing to global consumers is depending on the various factors, like the firm, when marketing to the global consumers, needs to understand their behavior, right? When so when it is doing at the global level, it has to understand the global consumers' behavior and modify its offerings, whether products or services or strategies, according to the consumer requirements, right? So when a company serving at a global level, and it needs to understand those global level consumers and their behavior in order to serve uh, those consumers. Means it has to, a company which can understand the consumer behavior at different cultures and their requirements, and provide these services or products, only will get a success, right? So, here we are going to understand the international consumer behavior. Okay, how the market study, what is the possible ways that the factors that affecting the international consumer behavior, and there are some theories on consumer behavior. And also, once it understands the consumer behavior, the global consumer behavior, the next important need is to know the process of international marketing research, how the international marketing research process has to be undertaken, and what are the challenges involved in it, and right? While expanding their business internationally, it is not only understanding the consumer for any business, it is also important to achieve organizations, missions, and vision. Means in order to achieving the organization vision and mission itself is not important, not enough. Along with the, in order to achieve the vision and mission of the organization, it need to understand the international consumer behavior. At the same time, how there is the what understand the countries, that particular country in which it is going to offer its products or services, that particular country's legal and ethical issues at a global level. So a company which wants to enter into international market must understand its understand its consumers behavior at international level, the different countries and different markets, the consumers of multiple countries and their behavior and factors influencing those consumers. Accordingly, it has to modify their offerings, and it's that all, not that itself is not enough. Along with that, it also has to understand the market research, has to undertake the steps for to international marketing research, and understanding the problems and issues or the challenges in international marketing research, then also must take into consideration the legal and ethical issues in international business. So today we are going to discuss upon these aspects. Here is the screen sharing that I am doing. Yes. So let us see consumer behavior. So we learned in a international, in marketing management, learned about the factors that influencing the consumer behavior. Those at an international level we are going to study. So by the end of this topic, you will be able to understand what influences, what are the factors that influences global consumers, and what is high context and low context, what are the various dimensions and the cultural classifications, cross-cultural consumer behaviors. So let us see about the factors influencing the consumer behavior. Yes, as I mentioned, understanding the global market is very much important for a firm which wants to enter into global business, right? So every firm, almost many of the firms in the country are offering their products or services at the international level to multiple markets where it needs to understand that consumer preferences. Okay, satisfying the consumer requirements, needs is very much important for any company to reach success. Okay, so yeah, generally it is very different. There involves very so many differences. Uh, According to that, if they serve, only they will. That is the reason why if you see Amazon, when entering into various countries, it came first, the basic language it started is English. Later on, to emerge more deeperly into the international markets, that the different countries that it is entering into, what it did, it came with regional languages. That means to attract this market, the country in which it entered, it also to grab every corner of the consumer, it developed a feature called regional language. That means regional language is more comfort. At a common language, English, it came first. So where it is missing some of its customers who are not good in English. So later on, when it came with the regional language, it has attracted those customers also who are preferring regional language to use the Amazon app. So that's the spirit, what actually mean here, uh, understanding the consumer behavior or um, to make their product more effective or more successful in the international market. So let us see what are the factors that influence the consumer, global consumers. Is whatever we have learned under marketing management, same we will get here. Let us see at an international level how they differ. The first one is culture. Of course, the culture is what is culture? It is a set of values or ideologies that are adopted by consumers uh, at of different countries or different ways, uh, which shows, which reflects on the behavior of the consumer, right? So it is a very complex belief of human behavior and which influences the human society also. Okay, not only the society, the values, customs, and traditions of the that society. So culture, understanding the culture is very much important for a company which wants, for a firm which wants to enter into international market. I already quoted once in the previous classes, McDonald's. Actually, McDonald's is popular with its hamburgers. But when hamburgers or when it planned to enter into Indian market, where uh, these Indians are more religious and Hindus and their culture, understanding their culture, it came with an offer of aloo tikkis and veg burgers with a different taste, right? So that's how it attracted. So culture, understanding culture is very much important. The next one is social factors. Yes, social factor as the other one, since they interact with co-workers, how they interact with social being of the consumers is very much important. How the consumers interact means in a particular country or which it wants to enter, it is important for the firm to understand how they interact with their co-workers or the friends and the family members, and their influence on the behavior is also important. Okay, because the society and the social status also dictate the buying behavior of the consumer. So for to make understand this, I'll tell you an example. Yes, Coca-Cola is one of the such one which has came with the next social factor. If you see, India's Marico's company, when located its branch in a South African country, one of those times, one of the vice president of those times, HR head, Ashutosh Telang, visited a South African branch and interacted with the people working in this, employees working in that such branch, and asked about the issues and problems that they have in their workplace. So calm. The reply that he got is silence. That means he didn't get any response from the sort of, because they had fear. Their fear of deprived. They are deprived of fear and all. So they are not open. They are not ready to open up and express their feelings. Then after some time, then breaking the iceberg, uh, ice, this Telang asked them to draw a picture, how um, to draw the picture of their problems and issues and put it on a uh, secret ballot. Then he got a good response. That's how he learned doing how a workplace can be made ideal. That is, he learned that welcoming the hearing from the employees, how to get more hearing from employees, that instead of asking them openly and to explain their issues and all, if a ballot is kept and ask them to put their problems and issues openly in the ballot, that will help to know or hear the issues and challenges of employees in the workplace. That's how, because in the places where employees are like worry, the relationship between the co-workers affects, the fear is there, then they can, uh, this kind of arrangement will help to uh, express their opinions. That's how he faced. The next one is psychological factors. Yes, psychological factors, like the factors like the motivation, perception, learnings, and attitudes. These are the things which are to be understood again by the firm while entering into the international market. What are the factors that motivates? Okay, and what are the factors at perception? See, IKEA is a long, means uh, age-old industry. Okay, but why IKEA entered the market, Indian market recently? Because the living style, lifestyles of Indians has changed after the development of IT sector and liberalization of economic policy. So as the lifestyle and living styles of Indians has changed, IKEA thought, yes, this is the time where I can enter into this market and make uh, business good. Okay, that's the because that is what because when the living style earlier India Indians are like uh, saving more. I mean, it's like what you call your, if you see your parents, grandparents, they used to live whatever they have. And at the end of their, after the retirement age, they used to think about building a new house out of their savings and all. Okay. Mm, and their living style, they don't ever bothered about the status and all. Okay, they just wanted a safe and secured environment. So, and their risk-free environment investments and risk-free savings. So that's how they used to build their house only after the majority of them build their house only after the retirement. Okay, and then when the IT sector developed and liberalization taken place, and the living style of the new generation, young generation, has changed. With the IT jobs and all, they started buying their news. They're preferring comfort and luxury comforts and like a status. They want to maintain some status. The living styles has changed. The lifestyle of the generation has changed. So they're preferring to buy everything that give comfort and like the perception of living life has changed in the young generation. That made scope for the IKEA to enter into the Indian market. That's a psychological factor. Change in the psychological perception of young generation of India has given scope for the IKEA to enter into the Indian market. That's how the various things will change, psychological factors that affect the marketer to enter into the market. And personal factors, like a number of personal factors, age, income group, gender, occupation, education, there's various factors show their impact on consumer buying behavior. The age, the kids prefer more uh, toffees, toys, and attractive colors. Okay, whereas the youth prefer trendy designs and fashion-oriented products and designs. So different depending on the age, the older people prefer safety and security aspect of life life products, right? So depending on the age, the consumer preferences changes and buying behavior changes. Depending on the gender, the buying behavior changes. Depending on the occupation, the behavior changes. So various personal factors relating to a consumer decides his buying behavior, understanding which is very much important for a marketer who wants to enter into international market. Here we have three different mm, yes, what do you call cross-cultural, okay, three different consumer behavior theories. Before that, impact of cultural factors on consumer behavior is given here. The elements of culture. So what are the elements that have relevant for understanding the consumer behavior in international consumers? Are values and beliefs of consumers, like what are the values and beliefs that the consumer have? Understanding this is very much important. If you see US, they are individualistic culture. They don't depend on anyone. Whatever the age they work, they want to be individual. Okay. If you see the Chinese, there is collectivist culture. They work for the groups, welfare of the groups, and give preference for the relationships. Okay. And norms. Norms are the invisible or invisible rules of conduct beyond which the people are expected to not expected to work or behave. Norms. There are certain norms which are to be observed, like by the culture, by the people of the countries. They'll have certain norms. Say, for example, in work culture, employees are expected to work within the norms, duty, rules, and restrictions given to them, or within the authority powers given to them. Right? Similarly, to qualify to place yourself in some organization, some institute, you need to qualify certain exams, which is the norm. Okay. Like that, these norms are also decides the consumer behavior. See, in India, we are very much adhered to certain cultural norms, like women especially wearing fully covered dressing, okay, wearing bindi, bangles. These are the norms, okay, and of course means and where which are the people who don't follow, people used to find in the culture less, okay. Very strictly, right. Hmm. And like that, in the offices there are specific formal norms are there, more specific and clearly stated various types of norms which are strictly to be followed. Mm. See, in India, religion, most followed religion is Hinduism, and Hinduism, the very norm for any work they start with the Ganesh Puja, which is strictly followed and enforced generally in an informal way, right? And the remaining many are there that are uh, different. So cultural values, these norms are imposed at a different degrees, different level, which reflects on the cultural values of that society. Of course, they are not standard. They may keep changes with the cross cultural diversity. Symbols and languages, yes. The other one is human consciously, subconsciously always try to make some sense of their surrounding world through symbols, gestures, non-verbal communications, and all. So these all will indicate certain uh, um, behavioral aspects of the culture or that country, right? So this again will have some representation. They represent the symbols and language, sign language represents some communication through which, without which, well, a consumer will mm, has to understand, marketer has to understand. In India, if we generally, if you see, people understand, like this will help, these gestures, signs, objects, and signals will help the people to understand that world. Okay, they provide certain clues so that the people can understand and share by societies. Okay, different searchers, different people, different things will help uh, to understand. Okay. Next one, dietary habits. Yes. Region to region, dietary habits also changes. This also will represent the people's behavior. Coming to the theories of consumer behavior, we have three theories of consumer behavior, and these three theories of consumer behavior will help to understand this great Hofstede, Geet, Geet Hofstede culture dimensions. He is a psychologist who published various cultural dimension models, and in the, taking the IBM, and he made his study on IBM company, the people working in IBM across 50 countries. Okay. He, based on his study, he developed uh, 5 dimensions. Later on, with the cooperation of Michael and Bond and Michael Minkoff, he developed the 6th dimension. Totally, Hofstede code, the study of Hofstede is between the 0 to 100 score. He studied, as I mentioned, he's a psychologist, and he studied the people working in IBM across 50 countries, and he collected the data, okay, uh, based on 0 to 100 dimension, okay, 100 score, 100 scale, okay. Uh, there are 6 dimensions. Let us see this power distance index. I'll explain this with the help of video. Just let me present you the video. Hope this video is visible.
No, madam.
Yeah, thank you. See, Edward, sorry, this one is second theory. I'm sorry, I'll present the next. This one, Hoffman is Hoffman, Hofstede function. No, this is the second theory. Let me 1 second. Gate Hofstede, no? This one only, no? 1 second, 1 second. This one only. I hope this video is visible, right? Okay. I collected this. I collected this from Business School 101, the video created by Dr. Yang, cultural framework. As per him, he means the Hofstede's cultural framework has been 6 dimensions. This facilitates the collaboration and cooperation, negative stereotypes, and personal biases. So let us see. Yes. His cultural framework is like he facilitated collaboration and cooperation, how the people collaborate and cooperate with each other, despite of negative stereotypes and personal interests. Different things have been taken. He is the one that social psychologist. He did his study in IBM company across 50 countries, employees, 40 different countries. Actually, in some books, it has been given as 50. So these are the dimensions he has taken for a study. On these dimensions, he made a study taking 0 to 100 scale. Power distance. One of the thing is power distance, which refers how openly a society or culture so rejects differences between the people like hierarchies. See, especially in India, if you see, Indians are very accept, means openly accept that the boss is means hierarchy. We Indians accept a hierarchy, whereas Japanese, Mexico, and the Philippines don't accept hierarchy. They want to see that all are equal. That is equality. Okay, the power distance is one of the dimension which he has taken for studying the consumer behavior. Okay, so he took these among these 50 concerns 0 to 100 means if you have a high scale, that means they are openly accepting that boss is higher and therefore deserves more formal respect and authority. That means hierarchy. They are accepting the hierarchy, the differences in the places. Okay. Whereas indicates that low scale indicates that superiors and subordinates are more uh, likely to see each other as equal. So, okay. So, uh, Japan, Mexico, and Philippines are with a high uh, scale. Sorry. Whereas Austria, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Israel are, means these people wanted to have a equal rights. The people, even India, high scale, Indians also accept the hierarchy. So, okay. The next one is individualism. The next dimension is individualism versus collectivism. Again, here also that is a degree to which societies are integrated with the groups as well as their pursued obligations and dependence in groups. Individualism, collectivism. Okay. Individualism means tendency to take care of themselves or their families only. They don't bother about the society. These are the two aspects which he studied and the other dimension. Okay. So high scale indicates higher individualism. Okay. And collectivism is individual members render loyalty to the group, means collectivism, where they go collectively. They consider the benefits, not only theirs, themselves, also for the caretakers. They are like a caretakers for the groups they are working with, they think about. Okay. Mm, so China is highly collectivist, and US and North European societies are individualistic. That's the, if you see, that's the reason why. If you see, US highly individualistic tendency, US population, like they independent, they just that is the reason why in US the people even after certain age they want to work for themselves, live themselves, and in the early ages itself they leave the children to live on themselves, on their own. Okay, that is how a very individualistic tendency US and North European societies will have. Whereas collectivism, the best example, it's not mentioned here, but China we can take, like the individual members and the loyalty to the group means they work for their groups and they take care of their family members and group members and all. The examples we can take Singapore, Korea, Mexico, and Arab countries. Okay, so individualism says always me, and collectivism is always we. The third dimension he has taken is uncertainty avoidance. Yes, there are certain uncertain means consider the extent to which uncertainty and ambiguity are tolerated. How the people, what is the consumer, how these consumers, these 50 countries employees are tolerant to tolerance, means of uncertainty, excitement, or what you call uncertainty to the events, unpredictable events and all, how they are tolerant in bearing these uncertainties. That aspect he studied, and that who have high uncertainty avoidance generally prefer to stay clear of conflicts and competition. They tend to appreciate very clear instructions. Okay. Uncertain and low uncertainty avoidance means people more willing to take risks. Companies may appeal. Yeah, yeah, right. So high uncertainty avoidance means these are the people who don't want to take risk. The tolerance, risk bearing is very limited, and so for everything they are very particular, very clear in their every aspect of their movement, in every aspect of their rules and regulations. Okay. Mm. Whereas low uncertainty avoidance, these are the people who are less, means they are ready to accept like they are ready to take the risk. They're ready to face the risk. Okay. Very in these countries you will see very formal, less formal and less structured. Thinking outside the box is more important in these countries. Okay. If you see the example, high uncertainty award in Japan and France, where you see these people are very particular for their rules and regulations, and every aspect they want to be very particular and very constructive method of approach you will find, and they don't want to take any minor restrictions or face any risk. Whereas the Denmark, Singapore, Australia, if you take, they're they're the risk takers. It's simple to say that risk takers, where they are ready to face any risk and go to the extent highly risk and to the extent to uh, find the innovations to extent of any steps, they are very much preferring the think outside the box kind of nature. The next dimension is masculinity versus femininity. Yes, there are certain means this dimension studied about how far the people are gender conscious, where what are the gender differences that these countries population has, and the roles that are given to the gender uh, has been studied. So in certain countries, especially in masculine oriented cultures, gender roles are usually very crisply defined. Men tend to be more focused on performance, ambitious, and material success than the women. Whereas, sorry, uh, what happened to this? Uh, sorry. Whereas in feminine oriented, and they felt women are more tended to work and as equally. Men and women are treated equally based on their inherent capabilities and roles. Okay, so that's the one second. I'm so sorry for. Just wait a moment. It's some time, I think. Not running. I don't know what problem has happened. Okay, I'll take this PPT. Hope this PowerPoint is visible. Sorry, not this one. Sure. Why is this only coming again and again? Okay, I'll share this notes only. I think that video has captured some problem.
Video is not visible.
not visible, no? That's what it's gone, I think. Okay, I'll take from here. I thought that will be explained more. So femininity, I'll continue with the other video. So among the 6 factors, dimensions, we discussed about 3 dimensions. One is power distance. The other one is the femininity and masculine. The next one is risk bearing, right? So power distance is the index. This is the one where the acceptance of equality or acceptance of hierarchical distribution of powers speaks about that. And individualism, collectivism speaks about the people, their like their how people are responsible to others, me and we. Okay, and then the masculine and feminism. This masculinity and femininity speaks about. There are certain masculine based, that is the country with a masculine based one. They used to tend to feel that men are more pay more role and more responsible, and they are the more responsible persons and more roles they play in the society. That is why the belief they used to have. Whereas the countries, certain countries, femininity countries, they used to feel that the women also have their own role to play, and based on the gender abilities and biological things, both will have equal rights, and equal rights is what the concept believed in the femininity countries. Okay. Generally, Japan, Austria with a high score they have. Means in these countries, the gap is more. The men and women gap is more. That is, they believe in Japan, Austria countries, they believe men are more responsible and workful people than the women. Okay. The next one is uncertainty avoidance index. This we already have seen in the video. Uncertainty avoidance, the people who don't like to take risk. There are certain means he divided. Are you ready? Means the dimension he has taken to explain or to understand is the people are ready to take the risk or not. So the high risk avoidance index says those people are very cautious. They are not ready to take any risk, and very particular in avoiding the risk. So they are need to be very conscious in with the rules and regulations. They work in a particular environment, where very formal environment, whereas uncertainty avoidance index is low. That is, these are the people with low index. People are those who are ready to take uncertainties, face the risk. They are more uh, viable in taking risk and thinking, go beyond the rules and regulations and thinking out of the box. Again, here also we have seen some examples. Uh, the next one is long-term versus short-term orientation. Yes. This dimension tells about uh, how far the people are ready to think about own past while dealing with the challenges and of the present and future. Okay, societies to extend again, they'll have a different normative societies which have scored low on this dimension. Means they are preferred to maintain time honored traditions, means whatever the days come, whatever the advances takes place, they want to honor the traditions and norms which are laid by their society. Okay, and affirmative society, these societies score high on the dimension, that means which are who are very pragmatic in the culture. They easily adopt to the changes and cultural changes, and as per the conditions requirement, the, means they are very free to adapt to the changes, the new traditions, new cultures. And India is a normative society where we are very very particular in our traditions, following and changing too. Means we are very much particular in following our traditions and values, the cultural values, than shifting to other traditions or cultural values. Okay. As compared to the other countries, I mean here why India is a normative society with a uh, very particular maintaining the time honored traditions is, as compared to the other countries in the study, Indians comes under this category of normative society, where they are very time honored and traditional, means they follow the tradition and culture that are coming from the ancient days by their ancestors. Okay. Um, the next one, is indulgence and restraint. The sixth dimension, which he discovered and described with the collaboration and cooperation of Michael Minko. Uh, he also one of the psychologists. Okay, but the data he collected is very less. High indulgence and restraint score allow or encourage later free gratification of people own drives and motions, enjoying life. Yes, these are the people, means whoever are having high indulgence and restraint, means these are the people very casual in nature, means they want to enjoy their life and have the fun in their life, and they want to see everything that uh, uh, make them happy. Okay, the society's low IVR score, more emphasis on the suppressing gratification of more regulations of conduct and behavior. Again, here also we can take Indians. Swedish is high demands indicate culture of indulgence. Means Swedish people are very free and very cool going people. Means they are very casual. They're very means they don't take anything serious. Anything serious in the sense here, not that they are self-respect, lack of self-respect. It's not there as a point of self-respect. It's how they go. They are easy going, means uh, they don't take anything so serious of people's behavior on the, like see Japanese, there is a talk in Japanese usually are very particular in their tradition and culture, means mm, you have to living in Japan is very much difficult, why? Because traditions and cultural aspects are very different. If you go little away from those, you will have to face uh, fines and problems, like in Arab countries. Even Arab countries, they are very particular about certain traditional aspects and customs, right? Such kind of traditional aspects and customs are very less absorbed and very less, these Swedish people are very less particular about those. Means they used to absorb, indulge with different cultures and traditions. That is how they are very indulgent people. Whereas India depicts a culture of restraint, means we emphasize put on leisure time, very less on leisure time, and we also try to control our desires and change our systems and tradition, culture. We are bound to our culture and tradition, and we are not such easygoing people. Okay, that's a these are the six dimensions which Hampstead has given. The next theory of consumer behavior is Edward Hall's high context and low context culture. But this is also I have taken one video. Let us see if it is played well and good. I hope this is you'll able to follow. I'll also explain. Example. I hope you understood. I'll play it again. I'll explain now. Yeah. So that is her introduction, how to use that for copyright sake. This high context and low context is the theory developed by Edward Twitcher Hall. He's an American anthropologist. He's the forefather of intercultural communication. Okay. High context culture is the think means aware of the big difference. Like see what the difference is. This high context culture, we need to think what they are in. Low context culture is the one which they say straight away. Okay. Uh, See here, context culture. If you see this context culture here, in high information conveys as implicitly. That is, you so many internal meanings and expressions you will have. Whereas in low context culture, explicitly means whatever they say, it's very straight and clear. Okay, whereas in the relationships in high context culture, the relationships are stable. Okay, and whereas here in low context, relationships are short lived. The example for this low context culture, German, Scandinavian, American, English, and French. These are very particular. See, whatever they convey very straight and simple terms and very clear terms, right? And high context cultures are Chinese, Spanish, Mexican, Arab, African, Italy. And working in this is so many rules and regulations, so many twists and interrelated information will be there, understanding which is very difficult. So again, it's I'm just saying it. Okay. So the next that is again go on here also this video. Something I'm just saying unknowingly while explaining without saying. Anyway, let's come back to the book. So this is where we can find high context individualism. Sorry. Yes. As just now, as a low context cultures or the associations that we begin quickly and end quickly. Means they're really short-lived relations. Okay, productivity depends on the procedures and they directly straight away concentrate on the goals and see that the goals are accomplished. Okay, interactions are not that significant. Verbal messages they give, and communication is a very and the communication is just uh, exchange of information kind of. It's no other purpose will be there. Okay. Mm, very like unknown how like how even in our India we a call center employee will try to build some good relation or try to express some emotion with us, right? Emotional bonding with us. But in the low context cultures that will not be appears. It's simple transmission of information. Okay, beyond that you will not find any emotional contact. Okay, the territoriality space is compartmentalized. Privacy is more important in a low context cultures. They prefer privacy. That is the reason why they for everything they take permission, right? And if you don't do that, they see that you are a cultureless brute, right? So that is that kind of privacy preference they'll give the low culture context. The next one is temporarily. Yes, whatever the events, tasks they undertake, then a particular time is they burn to time. Okay, change is fast and time is commodity to be spent or saved. Once time is once, oh, okay. So it is purely dependent on you. That is the reason why you will have your freedom there again in that sense. Yes, learning. Yes, one source of information is used. Thinking proceeds from specific to general. Yeah. See how you learn here. Only one source of information will be there. Specific to general, they'll come. What is specific? Yes, your so and so class, so and so time is. That's it. No other further discussion. Okay, further argument, further scope of explanations. Following explicit directions and explanations of others. Okay, no explanations, no orientation is preferred and speed is valued. How quickly, how you react and how subject oriented or work oriented is only they see there. Okay. Mm, Whereas high context cultures, you will see association people will build slowly and depend on the trust. See, ours is high, sorry, that is a high context culture because we build relations. We don't trust. It takes time for us to trust the people, and slowly, based on that, we build the relation. Productivity depend on the relationship. If you're my friend, I'll do. Otherwise, I'll not. Right? Interaction, yes. Voice tone, gestures, facial expressions, eye movement. So many ways of non-verbal communication we use in order to interact with the person. If that is not there, we feel that communication is not delivered properly. Territoriality, space is coming. People stand close to each other, share the same space. Okay. Temporality, yes, has its own time. Everything has its own time. Time is not easily scheduled. So generally, yeah, you might be scheduled. There is international marketing class 4 to 5, but it started around 4:40. Okay, not easily scheduled. If scheduled, also change may take place, and the time process belongs to others. The university has scheduled. The process of keeping thing is has taken place that my time has scheduled by university, and university are a slow change, right? Learning, yes, sources of information. We use multiple sources of information. So thinking process involves general to specific. So we start with the general, then we reach to the specific, as I'm explaining you now the topic. Okay, that's about the high and low context. These the consumer behavioral theories are important. The next one is post temporaneous cultural classification. This one is again the other one, other dimension, universal dimension culture. Here you have 7 dimensions: universalism versus pluralism, individualism versus communalism, specific versus diffuse, effectivity versus neutrality, inner defense versus outer directive. I'll see. I think I have taken a video of it. If it is there, I'll present it. Just a moment. Is this video? No, not this.
Video not visible.
Video not visible, right? Thank you for attending the class. I got oxygen. Hmm.
I'm trying from 4 o'clock, madam.
Actually, I told them 4 to 5 is not possible for me. My
Okay.
college till 4:30 I'll have the college. So it's a mid
Ah.
of the time. So actually some other faculty, I think. So suddenly I've been allotted this. Entrepreneurs, cultural dimension. Is this visible now? This video is visible? Hello?
Not visible, madam. Only the page is visible. That you are selecting page is visible.
Okay.
The running video is not visible.
And the previous 2 videos?
No, madam. That also not visible.
But why you
Ah.
didn't say then? Once you said yes, it is visible. I thought okay, it's visible.
No, I told not visible only, madam. That second time.
What to do? How? If it is not visible, it's a waste. Especially for more understanding, only I'm taking this video.
The page downloads page is visible now.
Yeah. That's what. In that only. From that only, and right. Stop sharing. 1 second, just a second. Share screen. Now,
No, not visible.
okay. This one is not showing only. Is this visible now? No, I
Ah,
think.
yes, ma'am. The
Video is visible now?
video is not visible. No? That internet site,
Haha, I
web page
understood.
site is visible.
Yes, yes, yes. Mm, okay. Then I'll share from the notes only. That is
Okay.
very easy to understand actually that video. I had to find how to show the video. Last time I showed.
Now, can you share those videos in my WhatsApp?
Sure, sure. Uh, I'll share. You send your number to me. I think you may be having my number.
No, madam. In chat, I am typing my name.
I'll share the link in chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let me finish the class first.
Oh,
Then
okay.
I'll share. Yeah. Mm, this is the other theory. After that, let me go to the next unit. That's on research marketing, international marketing intelligence and research. What is international marketing intelligence? It's like gathering and analyzing the information that is relevant to the external environment. How the marketer collects the external environment related information, and how he analyzes, and how he lay down his strategical plan in order to enter into the market, international market is what involves here. So this market intelligence involves with collecting the information like how information relating to the market, international markets related entry level procedures and applications. What are the tools and practices are involved, and for his decision making, we what he involves. And next, we under this market intelligence, we also find some uh, people like suppliers, consumers, marketers, distributors, and all. Let us see. The first one is international research. Yeah, on domestic market, whatever we do, the same thing, but at the international level, it is more important to see what are the cultural aspects, what are the legal aspects of at the international level, the market that they are entering, foreign market they are entering into is also important. Let us see about the scope of international market research. The socio-economic and political profile, yes, this is there in the domestic market also. Socio-economical and political profile in domestic, that Actually, in domestic market, we see this, the factor that influencing, external factor that influence the marketing function of the organization firm. Here we see as a research, means at an international level, while entering in international market, what are the social factors and economical and political conditions of the country. See, if you take the European countries now, the European countries standard of, as per the earlier research, the European entering into European countries is a good decision, good results you will get. But now European countries are politically, falling situation, like due to various financial crisis they are facing due to the Ukraine war. So that conditions entering into such market is difficult for the firm. The next one, size and trend of the market. Yes, several factors again need to be analyzed. That is, one of that is size and growth trend. Means what is the market size that you are entering into, which that depends on your product again, which product you are taken and what size that your product has in that international market, and what are the growth prospects that you have in the international market. See, take an example, IKEA. IKEA actually furniture. IKEA is the number one Swedish company, furniture manufacturing company, with the quality of furniture. And when it entered into India, then now it is the third or fourth year, I think it entered into India. But the growth prospects are it's facing very less. Why? Because though the size of the market, this uh, is wider, because the population and what a realty sector is growing. The people are what do you call now, like what do you call reality not so real estate. Real estate sector is growing, right? So then when real estate sector is growing, why IKEA is not going? Because seeing that high populated and the real estate sector is growing, IKEA entered into the market. But the growth prospects are thinking that they have a good growth prospects. But due to its cost, that expensive nature for the Indian market, it's not still facing the growth. Okay, so size and trend of the market generally involves what is the, if IKEA while entering into the market has looked into this factor, that is size and trend of the market. What is the size of the Indian market? Yes, it's good because the real estate market is growing and highly populated country. So there is a good growth trend is there. But they the cultural aspect, means economic spending aspect of the India, if they look into that properly, or maybe their socio-economic political profile, spending, spending aspect of the that is consumer behavior aspect, under that comes that aspect. If they see Indians are what do you call cost center, means let's see, Indians are very centric towards the expense, means very uh, particular in spending, right? See, the same IKEA product, whatever you're getting, you are getting at a cheaper price or lower, at a cost-effective price in the outside the market. So they are not going for the quality, because now they are thinking for every 10 years I can change. If I go a normal product with the cost-effectiveness, I can change it after 10 years. I'll have a new design and I can enjoy. So both the benefits I'm getting. That's the reason why IKEA still haven't met its market expectations in the India. Okay. The next one is structure and competition. The other factor that affects the consumer's theory is consumer behavior is the structure and competition. Yes, competitive structure of the market is very important. This is the one. First one is good as per the IKEA's estimations, research, it's good. But then the second effect is who are the competitors? What is the competition strength? Okay. local manufacturers as per the local domestic competitors, as well as the competitors for the same from the same industry. These all also has to be considered while entering into the international market. So here local suppliers whoever are there, domestic suppliers are the competitors for the IKEA. Okay, because they are providing the same product at a low price, right? Substitute they have. Yes, if I don't have the spring bread, spring bed, I'm comfortable with the a normal bed, right? So that's how substitute getting, and also local suppliers are also the competitors. This is also the one of the factor which affects the companies firms success. So I think I made you understand this factor, structure of competition. So it is important to study about the competitive structure of the market where they are entering. The competitive structure of the market is that it's relating to the local suppliers in the market. Is whatever the country you are entering, that country's domestic suppliers, and the competition that you get from that country domestic suppliers, and the competition that you get from the substitute suppliers, and the competition from the other suppliers of the same industry. All these three aspects have to be noticed here. The next one is rules and regulations. Yes, when entering into a foreign market, it is important for the organization to see what are the rules and regulations that the government imposes on the foreign goods to enter into that country. Yes, there are again two rules governing the foreign goods into the country, rules governing the internal business practices. See, if you heard of that Tesla's Elon Musk family, our government saying you are allowed to manufacture only, but not to sell in India, e-vehicles. But Elon Musk is trying to manufacture and sell the EV vehicles in India, which government is not accepting, because a government already said Make in India project. So with that Make in India project, there are various EV vehicle based companies or startups are coming in order to encourage their sales and encourage them in their perspective. It's must for the government to see not to allow this Elon Musk project for sales. So what they are doing to encourage the economy, encourage the employment, and to get the economic growth, they are allowing the Elon Musk project to manufacture only, but they are restricting to sell in India. This is with the benefit of the Indian firms. Okay, so that's how while entering into international market, the firm should look into these barriers, or these rules and the regulations relating to the company. Okay, the next one is that so under that you will come across of this socio-economic and political profile, size and trend of the market, and structure of competition, rules and regulations. These are the factors which affect the international marketing decisions. Excuse me. In order to do international marketing research, what information is to be collected by the firm? Yes, whatever the factors that impacts your decision, the information relating to those factors only you're supposed to collect, like economic, that is growth of the economy, what is whatever the country wants to enter, what is the future prospects of that country's economy, what is the inflation rate, what are the business cycle trends. Business cycle trends means recession and blue boom period. How long the recession is continuing in the country, and what is the boom period continuing, and what is the gap between these. This cycle trends has to be observed. And okay, next, of course, the profitability analysis of the product division that you are doing is must to study. And the next one is cultural, sociological, and political climate. Same point, same you will get here the factors that are affecting the decision of the international market entry. Only the way we answer differs. Economic and general, economic over. The next one is cultural, social, political climate. Okay. The next one, overview of market conditions, market segment, international summary of the technological environment. What is the technology development, technological development, and availability of technology implementation? See, our India now 5G. It has a 5G option, and asking the permitting and inviting the foreign countries to utilize our 5G services and do business with our telecom companies. So that's a welcoming growth for the countries who would looking into enter the Indian market. So these perspectives, competition situation, yes, competition, sales, revenues, methods, segments, all these has to be observed. So these are the elements which are to be considered while entering into the international market. So for the time of research upon these factors, one should study upon. The research procedure, first you have to define the objectives, why you're going for research. Okay, what is your objective of research? Then what information you are required to collect. After that, methodology, in what method you would like to collect the information, and then collection of information. Once the method is described, statistical technique or non-statistical technique, which research surveys you wants to implement, which sources you want to utilize for your study has to be determined. Then collection of information, who are your respondents, that also has to be determined. Then analyze the interpretation. Once the data is collected, that has to be analyzed. So the people who involves means a firm which wants to enter into the international market and has to undertake the research. While undertaking the research, it involves this procedure, and this procedure, whoever undertakes the international market research has to undergo this procedure. First, the firm that the research department should have the objectives, should know what objectives the firm wants to go. International market, want to do marketing, wants to do manufacturing, or wants to go for trading. What are your objectives? It wants to research for what purpose? Then based on the objective, you must know your information, what information to be collected. Once you know the objective and information to be collected, how this information has to be collected, what method to be used, what are the sources to be used, that has to be studied upon, known, explained or interpreted. Once the method is confirmed, then they start collecting the actual information through the sources decided and the method informed, determined. Then the collected information is analyzed and interpreted. The results will be finalized, and the data, a report will be prepared and submitted to the concerned higher authorities. That's the procedure in this. And emic and ethic approach. This emic approach is the one which tells culture specific. Emic one is culture specific. Only particular culture it studies about, only particular culture. Whereas ethic is cross culture. No, emic is cross culture. Ethic is specific culture. And they are taken from these two words, has been taken from the linguistics. Ethic emic approaches are contrasting, complementary, contrast to each other and complementary, because the company which wants to enter into international market has to study the particular culture, at the same time cross-cultural aspects also. Both the factors has to be understood. That's all for today. The next, what is that? International marketing research categories. Yeah, what are the methods of research? These are you'll get in you study in the statistics subject also. The same here also has been given: exploratory research, descriptive research, casual research, concomitant variant research, sequence of occurrence research, absence or other potential causal factors. These are the different types of research methods usually used by the organizations while undertaking the research work. Yes. Thank you. 1 second. Stream. Thank you. We'll continue with the remaining part of our block 4 and block 5 overall. I'll cover. I think tomorrow is the last class for us.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for being. Did you receive?
Received, madam, on file. Thank you.
One more is there. All right. Okay, sir. Thank you for being here. We'll meet tomorrow.